Are you ready to start your path to financial freedom by paying down that pesky debt? But you don't quite know what steps you should take or what are the best steps to take in order to get to that point. Well, don't worry, I have you covered. In this video, I'm going to be covering why Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps are the best method to get to financial freedom and why they work. Coming up. Hey, what's going on guys? Trey here. So if you're new to this channel, thank you for stopping by first off. Now, to give you a little bit of insight as to what this channel is all about, I like to add value to people's lives. Now, the way that I do so is by giving you the best tips as well as strategies focused around getting you out of debt, building wealth, and on your way to financial freedom. If this is something that you might be interested in, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and also the notification bell so that you don't miss any valuable and crucial content that will get you into financial freedom and on your way to building wealth. This video is centered around why Dave Ramsey's baby steps work. If you're actually trying to get out of debt or have already started your path in getting out of debt and you want to know what exactly works best, this is the video that you want to watch. So if you're ready, let's execute. So if you aren't familiar with Dave Ramsey is the individual who actually created the Debt Snowball. Now, I did a video which I'm posting here that went over the Debt Snowball method in order to pay your debt down quicker and get on your way to building wealth. There are other strategies that you can utilize in order to pay your debt down. However, the one that I implemented that worked the best for me was actually Dave Ramsey's Debt Snowball. There are 7 steps that you need to utilize in order to pay that debt down. And that's what we're going to be covering today. Step number 1, Dave Ramsey wants you to save $1,000 for an emergency fund. So the reason starting that emergency fund is so important is because life happens. There are unexpected events that can happen in your life that will be very, very troublesome if you're not prepared. To begin with, you want to start with $1,000. I'll give you an example. Let's say that the motor in your vehicle goes out. Most people who don't have an emergency fund, there's a very, very good likelihood that you're going to want to use credit cards in order to pay to repair that motor. And what does that do? It sets you back even more because now you're going further and further into debt. So having that $1,000 emergency fund that you can dip into in the case of that emergency, it will alleviate the want and desire to use credit cards. Baby step number 1, which I think is one of the most crucial steps, is starting that $1,000 emergency fund. Will alleviate the want and desire to start using your credit cards. All right. Baby step number 1, starting a $1,000 emergency fund. Baby step number 2, pay off all of your debt using the Debt Snowball. In this video, I posted how to properly use the Debt Snowball in order to get out of debt fast. I would encourage you to look at that video after this one so that you can properly utilize it. After you build that $1,000 emergency fund, the next thing that you want to begin doing is tackling your debt. Now, I hear it all the time. Some people say, hey, you shouldn't use the Debt Snowball. You should actually use the Debt Avalanche method. I'm more partial to the Debt Snowball because that is the method I utilized in getting out of debt. However, I'll be doing a separate video on the Debt Avalanche and how the two compare. After you build that $1,000 emergency fund, you want to start diving in and paying off that debt as quick as possible. For me, using the Debt Snowball was the most effective method. Nothing will get done if you don't take the first steps to getting to financial freedom. So start your emergency fund, and baby step number 2, start paying all of your debt off as quick as possible. Baby step number 3 is building and completing your emergency fund. All right, so I know a lot of people are listening and saying, wait a minute, step number one was starting my $1,000 emergency fund. What do you mean by building and completing? Well, exactly that. So step number one, you needed to start off, right? You need to start off with your first baby step, and that was starting that $1,000 emergency fund. In step number three, you're going to complete your emergency fund, okay? $1,000 was just starting off. Idealistically, you want to have 3 to 6 months of your household income in an emergency fund. So the more that you can actually put into your emergency fund, the more comfortably you can attack other areas of your finances so that you don't have to worry about, wait a minute, what happens if an emergency arises? Well, what will happen is you can dive right into your emergency fund and be completely safe. Baby step number 3 is building and completing your emergency fund. Baby step number 4, invest 15% of your household income. Whether that be through a 401k or a Roth IRA or a TSP, you want to try to max out your contributions yearly. So for me personally, I max out my TSP, and additionally, I max out my Roth IRA. Now, you can open up a brokerage account, whether that be through Fidelity or Vanguard or Charles Schwab. It's solely up to you. Me personally, I go through Vanguard, and $6,000 will be my limit to be able to max out my contribution for that year. Investing is one of the things I absolutely love. If you haven't started investing already, it is a crucial step in building wealth and becoming a millionaire. For me, I choose to invest in index funds and ETFs. Baby step number 4, start investing 15% of your income. Baby step number 5 is start saving for your children's college fund. Now, I know there's a lot of you that are saying, hey, well, I don't have kids. It's perfectly fine. I'm sure you have a niece, a nephew, a cousin, a family member, a friend, somebody that can benefit from you starting a college fund or a fund. For me personally, I like to do a 520 educational fund. There are other mechanisms that you can use, but for me, it's the one that works the best. Baby step number 5, start saving money for your children's college fund. Baby step number 6 is pay off your home mortgage. All right, now, if you would notice that in baby step number 2, we said pay off your debt, but notice we didn't include your mortgage. Now, the reason for that is your home mortgage is generally the biggest piece of your debt pie. What I would encourage you to stay away from is being home broke. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, for an example, I've never understood being a family of 2 and having a 6-bedroom house. That's something that I just couldn't fathom. If you can afford that, good on you. Good on you. You're well on your way. I'm talking about those who have a $1,500 to $2,000 home mortgage but can barely meet the minimum payments on their credit cards. As for me personally, I'm more of a minimalist, so I don't have an issue with that, but I did this video that covered the steps that you need to take in order to get out of debt as quickly as possible. So check this one out once you're done with this video. Baby step number 6, pay off that home mortgage. Baby step number 7, and it's my personal favorite, and that's build wealth and give in abundance, right? In my humble opinion, I feel as though part of being a member of humanity is to ensure that my fellow brothers and sisters, as far as I can help, are living well. The more money you have, the further your reach. Obviously, I'm partial to the military. If I'm out somewhere, and on a very rare occasion, if I'm going out to eat and I see a veteran, I'll pay for their food anonymously. It gives them such great joy in just knowing that someone out there appreciates what they've done for the country. There's no greater joy than helping someone else. And that's one of the things that I respect about Dave Ramsey, is that he greatly supports giving in abundance. So by the time you go through all of the steps, if you're at baby step number 7, you should be in a very good position to be able to help others. Baby step number 7, build wealth and give in abundance. All right, guys, there you have it. So let's summarize. Baby step number 1, $1,000 for an emergency fund so that you can kickstart the rest of your baby step and get into financial freedom. Baby step number 2, start paying your debt off as quickly as possible. Step number 3 is you want to build and complete your emergency fund. Now, to start off with, we did $1,000, which is typically a 1-month emergency fund. Idealistically, you want to go to 3 to 6 months for an emergency fund that you can fall back on for 3 to 6 months in the case of an emergency. Baby step number 5, one of my favorites. I can't stress enough how much I love investing. Investing is one of the keys to becoming a millionaire. If you're financially free but you're not investing, you need to start. Baby step number 5 is start saving for your children's college fund. If you don't have children, but you plan on having children in the future, start investing now. Or maybe you have a niece, nephew, family member. There's nothing better than giving to set someone else up for success. Baby step number 6 is pay off your home mortgage. Now, you're not gonna start tackling your home mortgage in baby step number 2. Double up on your payments if you can so that you can pay it off quicker. So that'll give you more money that you can actually invest. Last but not least, my personal favorite is build wealth and give in abundance. You being in debt is not a money issue. It's a psychological issue. It's a behavioral issue. The reason that the baby steps work is there's a step-by-step process that's proven to work because it worked for me and you want to utilize it, all right? You don't want to reinvent the wheel. If it worked for millions of people, there's a very good probability that it will work for you as well. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel to grow. In addition, smash the like button and hit the notification bell. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and there's more to come. So until then, I'll see you guys later.